Hello, I'm David Hughes, and this is Rogue Commentary, a new podcast featuring audio commentaries for cult and classic movies by the filmmakers and other interesting people. On this very special video episode, we're delighted to be joined by BAFTA winner Graham Hughes, no relation, writer, producer, director, editor and star of 2019's critically acclaimed micro-budget horror film Death of a Vlogger. And even more delighted that Graham is joined by one of the film's leading actors, Joma West, who plays Alice. You can watch the video just like this, or cue it up to the film, pausing on the Enlightened Monster logo until Graham tells you when to press play.
Okay, so this is the audio commentary for Death of a Vlogger. The version I've got doesn't have the 101 title card. So if you play the film and pause it when you see the Enlightened Monster, that's the little guy on the brown background. If you pause it there, then we can synchronize our viewings. Okay, so I'll give you a few seconds to line that up. Okay, everyone paused on the Enlightened Monster? Alright, hit play in 3, 2, 1, go.
Oof, that's loud.
That is loud. Let's turn that down. We don't need it that loud. Enlightened Monster, drawn by the semi-famous Neil Slorence.
Slorence?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Slorence.
I like it.
This title card is a lie. The whole film's a lie, basically. I guess we should introduce ourselves. I'm Graham Hughes. I am the writer, director and star of Death of a Vlogger.
Mm-hmm. And I'm Joma West. I am an actor in Death of a Vlogger and just general dog's body, makeup artist, sheet ghost person, manipulator of things behind the scenes, sometimes camera person,
anytime. So this
pizza
film was
maker.
This film was made mostly just by myself on my own. So for example, this scene we're watching right now was just me set up the camera on a tripod and just like did some talking to the camera. But anytime I needed any extra pair of hands, Joma was always there to be that pair of hands and support me. It was really nice.
I'm super supportive.
This is true.
That's what everyone says about me.
Supportive Joe.
Yep.
So this story about the paratroopers, this is something that my dad told me. He made this analogy for when you're driving on the motorway and you're doing 70 and then you come off the motorway and you have to do 30 and it feels like you're going at a crawl. Whereas if you come out of a car park and go up to 30, then the 30 feels really fast. So it's like, he was basically just like, watch your speed when you're coming off the motorway. Because the paratroopers in World War II.
Typical dad story and segue.
Then funnily enough, like this film's all about, fake news and things like that. So I looked up this story and I could not find any evidence that this is true. But it's a good story. So
it's a really good story. And also these photos are great.
Yeah, I think the ones we were watching are actually different from like this one. The version I've got, it was the one that was sent out to festivals, but I couldn't clear it for the film. But the one we were watching is better.
Yeah. Lucky us.
I'm actually roasting.
Yeah.
So Stephen is actually
a photographer.
Yeah. And that's him. He's a real person. He is a traveller. He did go all around the world. And he did take photos.
I'm quite envious of his life, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, he has the best life. Yeah, he was very, very kindly. That's actually his website as well. All my friends are JPEGs. It's
so check it out if you want to see some really cool photos.
Yeah.
And some interesting blogs too. Yeah.
Definitely.
Quality content.
Yeah, it was nice of him to let me use his photos for the film. That's a good one. To make you think of your days back in Japan.
Everything makes me think of my days back in Japan. It's you.
It's me.
Oh wait, that's early.
Spoilers.
That line comes later.
I'm assuming anyone who's listening to this commentary has already seen the film. It's like a terrible way to watch the film for the first time with us like, yammering on over it.
Yeah. Shame on you if you're watching it for the first time with the commentary.
I really like this one. I love the noise in this photo. I didn't do a great job though because my face is like the least noisy thing in it. Bad Photoshop.
Yeah, I guess. Ooh.
Rainy day in Glasgow. There's actually like a slow push in this shot that you can't really make out because it's so slow. Oh wait, no, is it this one? I don't know if you can hear that. Our dog is slurping down water right now.
Yeah, she's a bit restless today. She might interrupt us during this commentary.
Music you're hearing is Cullen. He provided most of the music for this film. He's a Minnesota artist.
Mm-hmm.
And Annabelle Logan. A lot of these are like just actual videos from her life. That's our dog, Honey.
Yeah.
Her only point in the film. I wrote her out of the film just because I thought it would be a pain explaining, like, you know, like when Graham leaves the flat and things, it's like...
Yeah, what happens with the dog.
Yeah, it's just kind of extra logistics for the story that was an annoyance. Otherwise, I would have had Honey as a main character.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely got the charisma to carry a movie.
Stephen Beavis. It's actual holiday video.
That's just him on a normal day.
With Josie.
So I was originally meant to play that part, actually.
Yeah.
But the person that was playing the part that I ended up playing dropped out, so I was filling a vacuum there. Yeah,
well, it was more... it was actually kind of great that they dropped out because it allowed me to give you a bigger part because I'd never seen you act before playing that smaller part, and you'd been holding out on me, your acting skills.
I mean, he says that, but both characters sort of are my character, so it wasn't very challenging.
This was done for the film. This wasn't an actual ice bucket challenge. In fact, you can see there's no ice in that bucket.
Did that hurt?
Nah, it was alright. Bicola playing the
disembodied
documentarian
voice. Yeah, and I mean, she hates hearing it, but I think her voice is perfect. It sounds great.
Yeah, I'm glad we got someone that wasn't Scottish for it.
Yeah,
it helps legitimize the documentary.
Yeah, I guess.
I've got some questions from Stephen that we'll read out later on.
Yeah,
we had some listener questions for this podcast. I say podcast, commentary, whatever. It's going to be a podcast as well. Josie's so sassy.
I really enjoy her performance.
Yeah. I love everyone in this.
Yeah, Annabelle's great.
Yeah.
This is just going to be like us going, oh, everyone's amazing.
Yeah.
We love them.
We did such a great job.
Go us.
So this is the first thing that was shot for the film. Oh, that was our dog,
yep,
who is wondering why we're not giving her any attention. Yeah, this is the first thing we shot for the film.
God, those cotton buds really just upset me so much.
It's alright, the continuity changes to the next shot. They get fixed for the next shot. You can see them, like, if you pay attention to them,
getting so
they jump.
annoyed and changing them about, and yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's probably not what they would give you, right?
No, it wouldn't look like that, but still, it was just I just wanted it to look nicer.
Yeah.
They'll probably just give you one of those like airplane masks, eye
Probably,
masks, like the
yeah.
sleeping ones, you know.
I thought this would be like a cool sort of like iconic. See, did you see it got tucked in? That's much better.
Yeah.
It kind of looks silly though.
Yeah,
I
they
don't-
don't really fit your eyes very well.
I don't like my hair in this scene either. But this was like, it was really like last minute, because at this point I wasn't even sure if we were going to do the whole film. It was more like this was a test to see. I hope you guys can hear that. Just honey going in the background. What is it, pal? No. Oh, there goes the door. The door is starting to open. So yeah, like this was a total, like the script wasn't even finished at this point. The fact that the Hawaiian shirt is on the radiator there, which obviously becomes a plot point later on. At this point, it was just like, right, let's get all the red things we can and put them in the frame, because you know we keep on. We're really annoyed that that chopping board in the background is blue with the red one behind it. So we missed a trick there, but you know, just put a lot of red in the screen and hopefully make the audience uncomfortable. Also, something that's been pointed out is you can't actually, if you were to pause and go frame by frame, you can't actually see the wire under the mug in this. I did do the wire removal on it, because while like it makes sense for a plot to have it, I thought if someone actually did notice that there was a wire under it, it would just completely ruin the film at this point.
Yeah, it's quite undermining.
And that's is that you or is that Annabelle?
That's Annabelle.
That's Annabelle.
I'm the one that's pulling the mug.
And the reason that the door pauses is because she has to grab it from the bottom, or else you'd see her hand. So it has to pause so she can move her hand out of the way without slamming it, and then she grabs the door handle.
Oof, another horrible
Yeah,
cotton bud nightmare.
I hate this shot. Like that. Look at that stupid loop of hair on my head. It really winds me up.
I mean, it's quite nice because it is quite a disgusting shot. So it sort of unsettles a person.
Well, yeah. There's Joma.
Yeah, so there I am under that. After pulling a mug, I then got wrapped up in a sheet and had rope tied around me. And then Graham and Annabelle proceeded to act for a really long time. And they forgot I was there, I think. It was like that anecdote by that guy that plays C-3PO where he's like, I finally know what it's like to be invisible. It was really uncomfortable.
Yeah, the rope was like, I thought that would be really creepy. And like I said, that was the first thing we filmed. But after that, it just became really impractical for all the things that the ghost had to do. So just like dinghied the rope. Like I said, I hate that scene. That's probably my least favourite scene in the whole film. But purely because it was the first thing we filmed and I hadn't planned it out properly at that point.
Yeah, I mean, the script wasn't finished until the film was finished, basically.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. This one's fun. I like
this took probably not as many takes as you'd think.
This was fun for me to watch as well because I wasn't actually involved in any of the filming.
So you got to see it like for the
so
first time.
yeah, it was quite like a nice thing to see because Graham had gone to Annabelle's place, I think, in Edinburgh.
Yes,
to do this
flat. Yeah, and I wanted to do it in camera for the most part. There's only one effect in this shot, which I'll point out later on, but getting it so that I land it that time, and then Annabelle to like smash it straight away. Also to get like the performances right, remember all the lines, because I'm not a professional actor. Annabelle was getting it right every single time.
I think we all know that.
And the blocking in this like is quite simple, but just doing it in one take was quite difficult. So leaning back at that point and then remembering to come in at the right time. So the only effect we have in this is when Annabelle flips the bottle, where she pretends to flip it in the first instance, and then we had her bring the bottle right down to the edge of frame. So this is a fake flip. But then later, after this called cut, so I'm just pretending to have seen it like land properly there. After this called cut, got Annabelle to like hold the bottle just out of frame and then just drop it neatly into place, and then I just like cut out that bit of shot and then pasted it over, got the timings all lined up. Simple but effective. Ledged. This was shot on the same day that we did the scene that I hate, the laser eye surgery scene, so my haircut is the same, but we just changed clothes. So this was the second thing we shot. Also,
I really don't like the production dressing in this.
Nah,
Sorry,
me neither.
I get really upset about it as well because I was responsible for a lot of it.
Anyone who well, no, this one, was it you? I thought it was just sort of like all mucking in.
Yeah, well, I kept on like trying to artfully change things, and then it just looked shit later. I was just like, oh god.
It's weird because in person it can seem fine, but on camera it changes things.
Yeah.
The thing that annoys me about this is when we open the door in the first time, like anyone that knows those locks, that upper lock is a deadlock. So unless I left the flat with it on the snib, then the fact that we just like push open the door,
yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. We're just going to point out all the mistakes.
Yeah.
Pizza boxes.
Just ruining all of the magic.
We just got a new washing machine at the time, so that big bit of polystyrene was off the washing machine. Beer cans.
Yeah, so...
Look at how bare that windowsill is compared to now.
Yeah.
We've got loads of plants on it now.
Yeah, it would have looked way nicer with the island and stuff.
Yeah.
Ugh, yeah. No, the flat looks a lot better now.
That corner's pretty good, but it's not really...
Yeah.
This is a nice... I'm quite glad at the touch that I left the tripod and the light stands. That's not like me to be so clued into continuity. There's a wee hidden cut there. I'm going to point out all the hidden cuts that I can remember. The one on that pan there, there's a...
Oh, you can see me there.
Oh yeah, there's
in
a...
there.
Right on the wave.
Yeah, like right on the wave, you can see my reflection because I'm about to help pull the pictures off, and I quite like that because I play the ghost. I like the idea that my reflection's in there as the ghost in a way.
Yeah.
That's
nice.
the way I interpret it, although it is literally just a mistake.
It's a mistake, but it like helps. That was just wire. Fishing line.
Yeah.
The amount of fishing line is used in this film. Like,
Yeah.
fishing line is the unsung hero of this film.
We were quite upset with how the paint job had gone in that.
This was improvised. This was later that night. So it's still the first day of shooting. And I had to paint over it because, well, didn't want it in the wall. But I thought, like, he's a vlogger, so...
He'd record it, yeah.
Yeah. So I just wrote this scene.
It was really cool because I didn't know you'd done this either because I don't think I was living here at the time.
Are you not? Yeah.
No. So, so I think I'd gone home and left you in your haunted flat.
So that as well, it's like, yeah, there's no one else in the flat, but through the magic of cinema, it seems as though Erin is still there.
Yeah. I love this bit.
Yeah, this is this is probably my favourite scare in the film. Annabelle's so good. She looks so... I can't do fear very well, but she looks terrified. It's just as well that like I'm holding the camera for a lot of this, because I think if I had to be scared on camera for more time in this film, I think it would really hurt the film.
I love it.
Yeah, it's good. And that was Joma, of course.
I had really good like Japanese ghost hair at the time.
Yeah.
Instead of this like Tim Burton mess that you can see right now. But it was quality. And it's funny because we were listening to a review at one point, because we love listening to reviews, and someone had said something about how the ghost's hair wig was too shiny, and I was like, fuck you, that's my real hair.
Yeah, there were at least two.
That wig is just a little too perfect. And I was like, I hate to break it to you guys, but I just have great hair.
Yeah. Yeah, there were at least 2 reviews that called it a wig.
I don't know if I should be insulted or pleased by that.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a hard one.
Yeah.
Oh, I must have been living here by now because my lasso's there.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, right enough. The lasso.
Oh, and my desk as well, where I used to work.
Oh, yeah. Well, things have changed. We don't have the Akira poster.
We don't have that hideous dining table anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And those disgusting chairs.
Our flat is so much nicer now.
And those hideous sofa. Oh, God, I hated this place.
Yeah. I said I was going to point out all the hidden cuts. I've missed so many already, but there's one coming up that I do remember. Oh yeah, I had to pause there because Joma was actually behind. So there's one on the light changing. There we go, hidden cut there. And then there was going to be a final scare to this shot, where when I'm looking at this, Joma as the ghost runs behind me on the webcam. And it's pretty cool just to go like running behind, and then I spin around, and Erin's there, and she's like, "What is it?" And I'm like, I can't remember what the line was, but
did you not see that or something?
Yeah,
but yeah, but it just felt like maybe a bit over-egged.
Yeah, and that was probably the only time I've had to like kill my darlings with this film. That was when I was like, it's a fun scare, but yeah, Joma is the one that convinced me. She was like, it'll be stronger overall.
Did I? I thought it was Johnny had said.
Was it? I thought it was you. I thought you were. Oh yeah, this is Narwin. I'm talking to no one right now. So much this is just on my own. Also, my hair is so different to the night that it was filmed. Look at the length of it. Paddy.
Every time he comes on screen, he just totally changes the energy of the film. It's just, it's so funny. Like, I immediately laugh as soon as I see him.
Yeah, I've said this so many times, but so much of Paddy's dialogue had to be cut from the film because it was too funny. And like, I wanted him to be comic relief, but I didn't want him to be like farcical. I think he toes that line just right. Like, he's clearly intended to be funny, but like he would just improvise like the most hilarious lines, and they all had to be like cut. This was I can't remember the name of the place.
Oh god, the ruined hospital.
Yeah, all of the ruins are just one place.
Yeah, that was a great day going to scout it. I mean, I wasn't there on this day, but scouting it was really fun.
Yeah, we went to scout it. It was the only time we scouted the location just to make sure we could actually get access before making the trip with the actors. Well, actor. This story is ripped off from an actual bridge. Again, can't remember the name, but you can look it up. There's a bridge on some like manor grounds in Scotland where dogs jump off to their deaths. They're drawn to the bridge and they just run and jump off, and like it's quite a tall bridge and loads of them have died doing this. So just repurposed that for this scene. I've got the CGI bird. It's kind of fake, but I think it looks okay.
I think it works.
It's so quick that
it's barely on screen. Yeah.
Again, this was just we hadn't even. I think Kevin, who's shot this, was just like filming, and I was like, just keep rolling, just let Paddy do his weird stretches and stuff.
He's got a kind of like McConaughey thing going on there, doesn't he?
Yeah,
like the chest thumping type stuff.
Steve Mitchell. Oh yeah, so Mitchell, that comes from Billy Mitchell from King of Kong.
That's a great little like nugget.
Yeah, well, I wanted that was one of the references for Paddy's character, is to be like Billy Mitchell, who is just fueled by ego. Or at least I know that film King of Kong has been said that it's not entirely accurate, but the way that character appears in the film, that was like what I wanted Paddy to be like. And then like most of the other characters' surnames come from Death of a Salesman, so Aaron Lohman, for example.
Okay.
Not that there's not really a whole lot of common in themes between the two films. Sort of like the American Dream, I guess.
Just the title.
Yeah, just the title. As more Magic of Cinema, Aaron was not there. That was recorded later.
I think once you know that, though, it feels like true, obviously.
Yeah.
When you rewatch it, it's like, oh, she's clearly not there.
Yeah. I love this. Was again like improvised, where Steve tells me to take a seat, and it's just such a nice character moment that he doesn't sit as well. He's like, yeah, take a seat, assuming he's going to sit with me, and he just like stands over me. Is so like perfect for the character. But again, that was something that Paddy brought to it. And the way he just like looks so bored and distracted at this point, like what's he doing?
I think he's just trying to remember his lines.
Probably. Definitely. He's so good. But yeah, I don't really like this scene either.
Why not?
I don't know, something about it. I don't think it's shot particularly well, which is my fault.
I guess I didn't really think about it, because I think the performances sort of take you away from that, because you're busy listening.
Yeah.
You're not really thinking about it.
This is like a total documentary trope, right? In fact, this was I think this was mainly referencing the Jinx. So before, in fact, you've not seen the Jinx, have you?
No.
Right, so I won't spoil it, but something like this happens in the Jinx, and the audio is left rolling. But yeah, when I was like making this film, I watched as many documentaries as I did horror films, because I wanted to I'd never made a documentary before, so I wanted to kind of really get to grips with documentary style and like what tools they use, because it's just a whole other toolbox.
Yeah.
And then obviously watched a ton of horrors as well and found footage films, just to see what the what's been done, and try not to retread too much of that.
Yeah.
A lot of people have said the scares in this are ripped off of Paranormal Activity, but I've only seen the first two.
Same. But then, I mean, I didn't really have anything to do with your orchestration of the scares. I just played the ghost.
David McKeach's lovely sound design in this film. Themes. What's coming up next? Is it the seance? Oh yeah. Right, I'm gonna.
That's what I make of that.
Have you seen this before? I'm gonna go to the first of our listener questions from Peter McCune. Did anything big change about the script when it came time to film?
Well, we sort of answered that already.
Sort of answered it, yeah.
Because
the script was only about half done when we started filming, and then there was this whole. The ending was going to be massively different. Graham was going to disappear, a lot sooner. Like at the start of the third act, he was going to have this video where he like meets a bunch of thugs or something. Or he goes to the bridge.
Yeah, there was like a painting and stuff as well.
What was the painting?
Erin had done a painting of the three thugs.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So
like she was an artist and she'd done these paintings,
Yeah.
and that was going to be used as evidence against all of this being faked.
Yeah.
basically.
So the ending was hugely different, and then that changed.
It was just too many moving parts. I think.
So it was simplified.
Yeah, it worked better, more simple.
Yeah. This is my favorite scene.
I think it's most people's favorite scene.
Yeah.
Wait, no, loads of people love the loop.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of my faves.
So we filmed this last. Right. Okay. So I guess we should really break down what's going on here. This is the last scene we filmed because it's all done in one take, and I wanted it to be done in one take because I'm a wanky filmmaker that idolizes things like that. So it was shot on a VR camera, a GoPro something. I'm terrible at remembering names of things like that. But yeah, what you can do is you get a better look at it there, how it captures like the entire room. And when you bring it into the computer, it's like this big flat plane. It looks really weird. It's all warped and stuff. But then,
so that's what we see at the beginning of this shot.
It's kind of different. I couldn't get it to do that, the normal kind of look. But yeah, like it's sort of like that. It's kind of hard to make head or tails of it. But then when you take it into After Effects, you can essentially become like a VR user in this way, and you can map it so that you can get a better perspective, and it just looks normal. And then you can keyframe it all so that you can control the camera moves and time it all. So that's how this was orchestrated. But for the effects, as it's all done in one take, what we actually have is Joma. Right now you're under the table, are you?
Yep.
Joma's under the table.
I'm dressed as a ghost as well, so
Yeah.
it was incredibly hot. Like temperature wise, not sexy.
Yeah. Yeah, this would have
Unless you're really into Japanese ghost girls, but yeah.
This would have been September as well, right?
Faceless Japanese ghost girls. Yeah.
So it was
it was
hot
very
summer
stuffy.
night, yeah.
We've got all these like studio lights on, windows shut to like cut down sound.
Yeah.
And then sweaty bodies in general.
So then the first effect is the drop of water.
Yeah.
Right, so Joma's still under the table at this point because we're going to pan left now. So just to show, like, look, there's still no one there. Panning around some more. Paddy doing his speech, try to build up the tension. This is like an actual prayer as well that I just ripped off the internet. And then again, left, we've got a slow push in as well. Or we go back right this time because Joma is now, I think, emerging from underneath the table. So I'll be like, back to me. Super impatient. Like it's only been a few seconds, Graham.
Yeah.
Come on. That's right. At this point now, Joma is standing over Annabelle holding a little pipette full of water. So she's just off screen here. And then she drops the pipette.
Yep.
And I've masked out the water drop from above so you don't see it dropping in. You can actually see Joma's shadow on the right there.
Oh, I never noticed that.
Yeah. And then she's still standing with the pipette. Drops one more. Right, now, dashing back under the table, there's a magnet under the glass that Joma is now pulling. She's got marks under the table from where to... because it's a glass table. She's got marks of where to take it to and from. So shadow's gone again.
That's quite like Hugh Grant energy you've got there.
Oh, so there's a fishing line again.
Oh yeah, so then I pull the fishing line
yeah.
from under the table.
Then go back to the magnet and pull it back the way.
It was super fun doing this, by the way.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I know I complained about being super hot, but it was really fun.
Right, so then she's done pushing the magnet. Then I think it's the candles next, is it?
Yeah.
Right, so yeah, we go right because if we go left, we'll see Joma who's now stand up. She's blowing these out. Then I lean over, you see me start to move, and I blow the rest out. Then we have the only hidden cut, which is on the pan here. We needed time to get Joma to the right position, and we had Annabelle and Paddy who are on the lights, so that on the pan they turn the lights off.
Yep.
And then the rest is real time. So there's one hidden cut, but it was done in all one take.
And remarkably, it didn't take very many tries to get it right. I think
5.
we did about 5, yeah. And it was the most fun I had filming in the entire production. I think.
It was a really fun scene.
It was really good. It was fun to have that many people involved, because so many times it's just one person on one person, and it was more of an ensemble piece that way, and it felt more fun having that energy.
Yeah, it's what I just remembered as well. Some of the first takes we did,
Yeah.
Honey was in the room, and we didn't want to move her, so it was like, let's just write it in, and we was just like, Steve's brought his dog to the seance,
and then eventually she was like, "Fuck this,
Yeah.
I'm leaving."
And then like if we'd have done that, that could have been another thing for the reveal at the end, because there's that vine of me
with
being
your
like
dog.
Honey, and it's like he knew Steve's dog already, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, Honey was in one of them, and we didn't want to like pure chuck her away into the other room, but she
here
was
I am.
she was right next to the lamp, and in one of the takes, when the lamp got pulled, it landed on the couch next to her, and she absolutely shat it and sprinted into the other room. But we all stayed in character and continued.
Well, it would have been a really like lovely moment to have on.
Yeah, it would have been perfect, but
yeah.
I can't remember why. For some other reason, the scene couldn't use that take.
It was a shame. We all really wanted that one.
Yeah,
used.
just that Honey's reaction was great. But it's fine. We got it in the end. It was a good scene still. It really is. Your big face debut.
Yeah. So I was very like interested in Alice being very black and white. So she only ever wears black and white. And because she's quite aggressive, I've got those bloody axe earrings.
It's a shame you can't see because they're angled in the wrong direction. But yeah,
I think in another shot I had shark mouths.
Yeah,
and then just like red drops.
And the red lipstick as well.
Yeah, it was just like lots of aggression in the way I was dressing.
Yeah, that's great. It's a really nice touch.
But talking about wardrobe, Annabelle's is amazing.
Yeah, those are all her clothes as well.
Yeah, she's got great taste.
I think it was her idea for the nose ring as well.
Yeah,
I'm sure that comes in. They're just like clip-ons. She wears a nose ring, right?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, in the film.
In like the interviews.
I love this, like you through the red as well. Like it's just
perfect.
Just a happy accident.
Yeah,
like Bob Ross says.
So we borrowed this flat from some friends, and we really just wanted to. You could actually catch one of them there,
dead on the couch
she
from
was
a
quite
hangover.
But yeah, so the funny thing about this is we didn't really bring much to dress the place ourselves. Like there's a couple of ornaments that are ours, like
The
obviously
skull.
the doll and that skull.
Yeah.
But this is mostly their place and the way it was decorated at the time, which is really great. But also it meant that I didn't take away any of the pictures of them as a couple in the background. So every so often I catch like a little picture of the two of them, and it really amuses me.
Yeah.
And I think that I love the way this place looks. I think my friend really laments how messy his desk is every time he sees it. He's oh my God,
we
I
did that on
hate
purpose
this
so that
place."
you'd have some business to do here, like to
No,
move stuff out of the way.
yeah, I think
like we would have tidied it otherwise. We thought, well, why don't you tidy it on camera? Because it's a long scene, it's a long monologue. If it's just you standing there, you needed something to do.
But I think he had left it that way, and he was really upset that it was so messy.
Well, it's cinematic, so you can take solace in that.
Yeah, those are the shark mouths.
Oh yeah, that's right. This isn't like a real story for once. This is actually just made up. Something that came from my own brain for a change rather than stealing from someone else.
Yeah.
All right. Second question from Peter McCune. What scares you both most in other horror stories, and did you channel any of that into Death of a Vlogger?
Which is an appropriate question for this when she's telling a story.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, scary stories, the things that scare me the most are ghosts and probably cults. I'm not really scared of demons or possessions or slashers or anything like that. But yeah, cults with their mindset and the way that they can like overtake a person, that freaks me out a bit. But it's mainly ghosts. I think it's just something about that energy, and you can, like, even if you don't believe in ghosts, you're often put in a situation where it's just, you get that creeping feeling and you can't help but think, what if?
Yeah.
And so ghost stories are the ones that are the most effective for me, especially because there's so many. Ghost stories are never about ghosts. I love that. I love the depth of a ghost story. So yeah, those scare me the most.
Yeah, I mean, the ghost in this is so incidental. Doesn't really have a lot to do with anything, really.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I'm the same. Anything paranormal. Ghosts, demons do scare me. Witches, I find quite terrifying. But yeah, paranormal stuff. Cults, I agree with. I hadn't really thought of that.
I was only thinking about that one earlier because I was thinking about the bits in Hereditary that are scary, and it's not the demon, the Paimon stuff. It's all those like naked old people, like will just like come join us, and you know, and the way that they'll risk people's lives for their own ends, and they're all in it together, and they're all manipulative, and it's freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah, cult stories are fascinating and scary.
Yeah, and that has a ghost in it as well.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
This is probably the cheapest jump scare in the film.
Yeah.
Everything else, I mean, I love. it's so lame, but it totally gets people. I mean, it's the only one that has that, like, you know, ridiculous loud noise bang thing.
Yeah.
And it's the only one that's, well, depending on how you interpret the film, it's the only jump scare that's fake or like false.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I love a jump scare, but I think there's a good way and a bad way to do them, and that one's like pretty manipulative. You could say that's a bad one, and I wouldn't disagree with you.
I like Bacola's not there at that point either, but she's doing like the interviewing
that was all just
questions.
voiceover.
So that was much later that she filmed her stuff.
Yeah.
This is the same day, so because we only had the location for that morning, I think it was just a couple of hours we were there.
Yeah.
So we were really getting
like
stuff
2
done
hours.
really quick. And yeah, so I just changed outfits and quickly did that bit.
Yeah. But then we did actually record the next scene next as well, because we went straight to the Flying Duck in Glasgow.
The same day?
I think so, yeah. Have you not? That's why we were under pressure, I think. Because I'd only booked Kevin for like 1 day.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So, yeah, all of this next stuff. Well, yeah, all of this
good.
is done.
Up the nose shot.
Yeah. I'm really chuffed at how this turned out. Like it, you know, like the pencil case and that.
Yeah, it was
There's
good.
Kevin. It's a bit of meta filmmaking there. I mean, this whole thing is meta as anything, but I love this pause. Look at my glorious locks blowing in the wind.
Yeah. So I was doing this, like,
We're
we
actually-
actually shot this after we'd done the scene in the pub. So we were pretending they were going to the pub once we were leaving the pub.
Yeah.
Which was fun. It works so well, that little, like, spy cam.
Yeah. Yeah, I made sure to make it a dirty frame so that it's, like, not so perfect.
Yeah.
But it's, like, the perfect amount of dirty.
Yeah.
Like, Paddy's face is just sort of obscured by the fraying of the fabric.
Oh, Peter McCune's in the background.
Oh yeah, Peter
the
McCune,
person
who's
that was asking questions.
to a vest, yeah. Little cameo there. And I think the jokes in this are Paddy's as well. I'm pretty sure these were improvised.
Yeah.
So the planking one was written. But oh no, the inverted commas thing, or like the air quotes, I think that was in the script.
Yeah.
But it's you're not writing anything down.
Yeah.
No.
But I think, like, I hadn't really seen the whole, like, antagonism between Alice and Steve until we were there on set, and it was just so fun to, like, suddenly be like, thank you, Steve, shut up.
Well, like, the way the film was shot was so non-traditional, because most of the time it was just one person with a camera, or maybe two people with a camera. So this was the most traditionally shot scene that we got like coverage for. There's 3 angles. We did the whole thing in a take. Just oh, Steve. But yeah, like, so this actually felt like kind of getting back to traditional filmmaking in a nice way. So like just much better for like actors. So yeah, like that would have been better for you. You'll be dropping your nose, yeah.
Okay, water all over my face. Stylish.
That's Peter again.
Mm-hmm.
And Rosie. That shot annoys me. I wish we'd shot it on a longer lens or got more distance. Like, I feel like you would totally have just seen the guy with the camera standing there. But I think it works in context. It's dark enough.
Yeah.
It looks dark enough, rather. It's all good.
I like your performance here.
Thanks. That's nice of you.
Unusual. What a bitch.
I really love the music in this scene. It's so perfect. I was so lucky to find colour.
Yeah, that was really good.
I don't even know if he's his Peter again. That was great.
We're just like using all of our friends constantly.
Yeah. Well, he was like, let me know if this is rubbish or not, because it was his idea to do the Pikachu's. Like, and I was like, nope, that is perfect. It's exactly like, some Pokemon vlogger that talking about Ghost video.
So his performance is really good. I think you should get him in something.
That was Grace, who is the wife of Stephen, who's the photographer.
Yeah.
Also, Stephen had a little cameo there as well. Went by too fast. Missed him. All right. We'll take another question.
Yeah.
From Disco.
Yeah.
How long did it take to film? Oh, wait, there's several here. So how long did it take to film? That's an easy one. It was 6 months. It was over 6 months, I should say. If you condensed it all into like normal sort of 8 to 8 filming times, then probably like a week. I think you could probably do it in a week.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
Yeah. Do you or anyone in the cast/crew believe in ghosts? Well, I can't speak for anyone else, but we can answer that.
Yeah. What about you? You don't?
Nah, I don't think I do.
I kind of do, I think. I mean, I definitely have been in situations where I feel like something unsettling is there.
Yeah,
and
I do.
It's more like an energy rather than ghosts as such.
Yeah.
And I feel like you can have energy that feels malevolent. Whether it can actually do anything to you is a different story. But I think that our minds are so strong that we could manifest malevolence upon ourselves when we get into situations like that. So yeah
I feel the same way. Sorry, just checking to see if we're still recording. That would be really heartbreaking, getting halfway through and it's like, yeah, we got about 10 minutes of this. We're all good. I feel the same way. I've certainly been in situations where I'm like, something's not right here. You can't put your finger on what it is. Presences and all that. But I've never seen anything. I've done Ouija boards before where the things that come out are like so specific. It's like how did they know that?
Yeah.
I've had things like that before, but
I was literally just talking about my first Ouija board experience with a friend recently that I just reconnected with, and we'd done it when we were 12 with like little post-its, and she said it freaked her out so much that she's like never gone near anything like that again.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And I think, yeah, me too, actually. I haven't tried it again since because I feel like it's something you shouldn't fuck with.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've had experiences like that, but even though I don't have explanations for those events, I'm sure...
It's here, by the way.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So awkward.
Well, it's because I couldn't remember the script. You see me looking down? I've got the script written down in front of me, and I was hoping that would just like play in. See, there I go, looking again, reading from the next bit. I was hoping that would play into the performance that the character can't remember, and he's reading from his pre-prepared apology.
His cue cards, yeah.
But I don't know how much it does actually play like that. I don't know if it just looks like I'm looking away. Does it look like I'm reading?
I think it does a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, the red sheet in the background there is because
you'd already written on the wall.
I'd already written on the wall, so there's a few of those where I had to keep thinking of ways to cover up. But like, if you think about that for a moment, it's like, what the fuck is that? Like, why is there like a weird square sheet lying against the wall?
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, Graham. None of this half-ass shit.
But I mean, all this is just drawn from like real stuff, like Logan Paul and all that. Like these things that have happened, like the monetizing of apology videos. It's just disgusting. Yeah, I was literally talking this morning about the haunted house.
Yeah.
It was a holiday home that it was like my stepdad's mum's house, and we used to go down to Margate for it. And I had a dream last night that I'd bought it for me and Joma, and I always grew up thinking that it was like haunted, like actually haunted. I was terrified of that place. It used to be a sort of like borstal,
okay,
or like a children's home.
Yeah.
And it creeped me out no end. And in this dream, it started to meld with The Shining, and Joma was gonna like dispel it or like cleanse the house, which is so Joma.
This house is clean.
Exactly. But yeah, this is like a difficult scene to do the sound design for, because it's like, what do you do for this?
Yeah.
So I just had to write some music. But it's just like text noises. It's weird to make, like, this is something that films have been struggling with, is making texts and like kind of internet things cinematic, and it's beyond me. I mean, this is the best I could do. Well, maybe not the best I could do, but it's certainly like what I ended up doing. I think it works okay. It's quite a somber scene, so I don't think you'd want much more than this, but still, it's like,
I quite like it because it just changes the energy again.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's very different. It's a departure from what we've seen so far. So yeah, it's sort of, it draws the audience back in again, as far as I'm concerned.
Thanks. I love this from Annabelle. This is so good.
Oh,
just
she's great.
The changing of her. Oh god, she's about to cry.
Yeah.
Paddy O'Brien.
Yeah. This is a great performance.
Yeah, worked with Paddy on my last film, A Practical Guide to a Spectacular Suicide.
And he plays the same character.
Yeah, so this is like another Easter egg where he played Dr. Watson in that, and he was so nice. I was just like, can I please, like, will you do a scene for me, or two scenes? Like, it'll only take an hour. Will you come to my flat and film this? And he was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I think he was a bit hesitant, like, the same character again. But I'm so glad he did. He's just such a nice guy, and like, he's such a good actor. Soon to be seen in
Peaky Blinders. Yeah.
This is all fake science, by the way. None of this is true. It's just like, I was just taking logical steps, but
extrapolating.
Yeah, extrapolating. Although I did speak to a psychologist who is also a film critic, and he said this all rang pretty true. So I was like, oh, great, cool.
Yay. I didn't know what that reaction was. Sorry.
You notice that the numbers only ever go up to like 28,000. It's only because After Effects caps metrics at 30,000. So there's some boring trivia for you.
Do you have any other questions?
Oh yeah, there's a few more questions. This is from Disco again. Who/what movies were you inspired by?
Well, your obvious answer is Lake Mungo.
Well, not.
But
so
you saw that after.
This is the thing,
you?
yeah. Like the obvious answer is Lake Mungo, but actually not, because I like I said, I shot this over 6 months, and I think I saw Lake Mungo about 3 months into the shooting of it, and I just remember despairing because, well, first off, Lake Mungo is incredible, and I was like, oh my god, my film is like never going to be anywhere near as good as this. And I also despaired because spoilers for Lake Mungo, or at least for the first half of Lake Mungo, the plot structure of Lake Mungo and this film is so similar, particularly the first half, the plot beats of how things unfold. And I was watching it, and it diverts quite drastically in the second half. But the first half, when I was watching Lake Mungo, I was like despairing because I was like, oh shit, people are going to think I've just ripped it off. Fortunately, yeah, they do divert, but
Diverge.
Thanks. But what films did inspire this? The Dirties. The Dirties inspired it. God, I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, well, I don't know because
Yeah.
you're the one who wrote it. Like nothing is. Oh, there's a ghost.
Not Joma this time though.
Yeah, that's actually just like a puppeting type thing.
Yeah, it's a
underneath.
contraption.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't inspired by any movies.
Yeah, King of Kong
I
inspired this film.
was just doing what I was told.
So You've Been Publicly Shamed, the book by John Ronson. So the two biggest ones are So You've Been Publicly Shamed and The Dirties. And I'm sure things like this scene, for example, was inspired by the scare in The Conjuring when she's hanging up the sheets outside and the wind catches one, and then it catches a figure and then falls to nothing. So this scene was inspired by that. And there's just fishing line again, another fishing line thing. This took so many attempts to get right.
Yeah.
Because at first I was like, oh, you just tie a fishing line to a sheet and lift it up.
And of course, it hangs.
It hangs it looks like the ghost of a Ku Klux Klan member.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. And then I was like, okay, so we'll put a bowl in it. And then it just looks like R2-D2's ghost.
Yeah.
So I had to build this Head and Shoulders thing with like an actual mask for a face, and it was all duct taped together so that when it like fell to the floor it would lie flat.
Yeah. It
was like this whole thing, and yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It worked a lot better than we expected.
Yeah.
I think.
The only thing is, like, in the first shot when you see it, the sheet's not that long, so fortunately you can't see like the floor, but if you could, you would see that the ghost is only like 4 foot tall.
That's true.
I love that shirt. I still own that shirt. All of Steve's shirts are.
Shirt yesterday.
I was wearing it yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, all of Steve's shirts are my shirts. I don't really wear the red one though.
I think a lot of critics have called them hideous, by the way. Just so you know that.
Those bastards. Critics, my mortal enemies. Actually, no, the critics have all been really nice to me.
Yeah, they really have.
They've been really nice to me.
Yeah, we love you, critics.
Yeah. I mean, last time they were dicks. There's actually, on the red graffiti on the wall, I've got a pull quote from my last film, which is something like embarrassingly amateurish. It's a bit of self-flagellation. Like, so you can see the graffiti on the wall there.
Yeah. Again, we've covered it up with a
poster?
random square of cardboard. That is. We still have those.
Yeah. No, that's a poster.
Is it?
Yeah, that'll be probably the Usual Suspects one or the Gremlins one.
Oh, okay, I thought it was one of those big squares, like the one we put on
Yeah.
the window to control the light right now.
I don't think I
because
had
everything
one of
is
them.
produced in this flat.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we had those at the time. But we can talk about those when we get to that scene.
Yeah,
'Cause they're yeah.
obviously, yeah.
So we touch here is the empty beer bottles, but I don't think they really register that well. But it's just like to show that he's drinking too much.
You can see the dog bowls in the background as well.
Oh yeah, actually,
yeah.
this scene completely forgot about Honey's presence, because actually, if you look in the hall, you can see her dog bed as well.
Yeah.
I've tried to grade it so it's like obscured, but originally, like when this was shot, you just see there's a dog bed right in the middle of the shot. But yeah, dog bowls. Well, he's just like looking after his mum's dog for the weekend, right?
Yeah, probably. I never noticed the dog bowls until this time, and I've seen this film loads, so there we go.
I've never noticed that. The bear trap in the wall there as well, that's actually still in. I mean, the flat's not being dressed, apart from the thing covering up the graffiti. This is how our flat mostly looks.
Yeah.
The bear trap was a prop from a music video I shot a few years ago. That I made that bear trap myself, and I was really proud of it, and I didn't know what to do with it. Like, just chuck out or something, but I was like, no, put it on the wall, because I put everything on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it works. I think the first time I showed a friend this flat, she was like, what the fuck? Because she saw the bear trap and she saw all of the graffiti on the wall, and she was like, you guys are into some weird shit.
Who was that?
I think it was Disco.
All right, next question. So their last questions are from Stephen Beavis, who plays Ian in this film. And his first question is, would you rather have everything you draw become real, but also you're shite at drawing, or you can fly, but at the speed of a crawl?
So I quite like the whole like flying at the speed of a crawl. It would just be like floating essentially.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you draw stuff that becomes real and you're shite at drawing, then you would be able to have like loads of really great props for films.
Yeah.
It would be a bit like that bit in like What We Do in the Shadows, you know, where he's like, he can transform into animals but he forgets their faces, so they all just have his face on. So it'd be like something like that, where you have like really creepy things that you can put into movies.
Yeah. I mean, so the way I look at it is the flying is probably more useful because you'll never fall to your death.
True.
So like, you know, if you're in a plane crash, you can jump out and save yourself.
Yeah, I mean, how often are you in a plane crash though?
It's true, but
although it does mean that you could technically like jump off buildings and stuff like that, so you could do really cool filming stuff as well.
Yeah,
from there as
I like how you're approaching all of this just to buy a film. But no, but like, yeah, if you fall off a ladder, or you know, like any of that sort of stuff. If you fall, yeah, it's a safety net.
It means that I could properly do bouldering and stuff without feeling
cool,
scared.
Yeah. So I think that's more useful.
You could become, do like free solo shit.
You could become like a prestige style magician that just has one good trick.
Yeah.
And make loads of money like that, because people would never be able to figure it out because it's real.
That's true.
Or if you do the art thing or drawing thing, the only way to make that useful is like, as you said, by like hanging a lantern on it and just being like, look, I can do this thing. So you could become like a world famous artist. Yeah. You know, by making these one-off pieces of art, and then you could like become really rich probably. Yeah. Because you can literally be like, look, I'll do commissions. Like, what do you want? And then draw like a real like a banana. Like you would have to like limit it to things that are not. Yeah. Because if you draw sentient things, that's a whole kettle of worms. But
it's interesting. Definitely, the sentient things would lead to some really creepy ass things. Yeah.
But then, like, what if you just wanted to draw something
nice? Yeah,
and then it becomes real. Like,
yeah, that's true. Like, we can't. Like, actually, we talked over it, but there was all those little drawings. Those are my Inktober drawings that I do sometimes. That's another one of my drawings there. Yeah. From Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah. Oh, there's my BAFTA. Guys, I won a BAFTA. There it is. It was a new talent award though, so they never gave me the mask. It's just a wee certificate in a frame. Yeah. I think this is coming up is like the graffiti's covered up again with a weird like sheet and a bit of cardboard.
There I am.
Yeah. I think this is a lot of people's favourite line in the film as well.
Yeah.
Not that one, although I like that as well. It's fun to hear as well. I think it's just because like people wonder that about lots of horror films. It's like, why don't they just fucking like, right? Why just stop walking, leave, call the police?
Yeah, but police can't do anything against a ghost.
I guess.
Also, all cops are bastards.
Getting political in the last half hour.
Black Lives Matter, guys. Yeah. And I'm not saying that to be flippant. I'm being serious.
This is true. This scene doesn't make sense because he mentions in the previous... So this is the day after the previous scene. And the previous scene he mentions that it's Guy Fawkes Night, which is the 5th of November.
Yeah.
This film's set in Glasgow. There is no chance you'd be out in a t-shirt on the 6th of November.
True. I never even put that together.
Yeah. But we filmed this in the summer, so...
Yeah.
But no one seems to have pointed that out yet.
I was really pleased with this makeup. It was my first time doing a kind of like bruise makeup, and I was really nervous because Graham had asked me to do it for the film, and I was like, oh fuck, the stakes are high because it's an actual film and it needs to look good. So I was quite pleased because he does look quite puffy and swollen, which I think is what you would look like when you've just been punched, rather than, you know, that sort of purpley yellowy look. So all those hours spent watching Face Off really helped.
No, it's a really great job. It looks right, you know. I probably could. But
yeah, I think I was actually operating the camera on this one, which is another one of my dog's body jobs.
Yeah. I don't like my hair in this scene either, but kind of works for, you know, being beaten up and
disheveled.
Yeah. So this is I was going to say, is this based on a true story? It kind of is a true story.
It is a true story.
It's like I said, I'm forgetting names left, right, and center.
God, I can't remember her name either.
Oh.
But I'm
Maria
standing
Abramovich or something like that. Is that?
Maybe. I don't know.
All right,
look it up.
You talk some and I'll look up.
So I stood in as the artist in that drawing as well, because literally it was just easiest thing to do was have me as everything. And and Graham did all of those drawings like on tracing paper, and it was originally the opposite way. It was like black and white in the opposite, and I suggested he made it black. It just looks better, I think.
Yeah,
it looked more amateurish the other way.
Yeah.
But yeah, we kind of like the whole shonky look of it.
Yeah, that was fun to do. It took absolutely forever. It's like for 6 seconds of animation, but yeah. So I wasn't 100 miles off. It's Marina, and I don't know how to pronounce this last name.
Abramovich.
Is it a ch? Yeah, not a k.
Yeah,
Marina Abramovich, and she's a Serbian performance artist, and this is a true thing that happened.
I remember hearing this story as well.
Yeah.
Prior to this movie.
But I just love the story, and it just fit the themes in the film so well.
It's really fucked up.
Yeah. Crying on camera. This was like, I wish my single tear was more visible. I have to blink out though. Go on, blink.
Nice.
But yeah, whatever. There's a wee bit at the end of this scene that I don't know if I like or not, where I break character too soon, and it works for the film, but I fear people might think it's a mistake. Well, it is a mistake, but you know, like this, depending on how you interpret the film, this is all put on. And I rub my eyes, and then as I get up, I turn completely break character. See?
Yeah.
Just okay, I'm fine. Yeah. So like, it's such a flash though. Is like, could that be another Easter egg? Is like he's faking it, or is it just like, oh, filmmakers fucked up?
Yeah, well, both.
Mm.
Do you have any more questions?
We got one more question, I think. Yeah, let's jump on it before the end because there's lots to talk about. Another one from Stephen Beavis. Also, would you rather lots of people seen/bought the film but fell asleep and hated it, or a handful of people streamed it illegally and loved it? So first off,
fun fact about Stephen.
Yeah.
The first time he watched this film on like a beta run of it, he did fall asleep.
Yeah.
And he snored very loudly and he disturbed everyone watching. He basically got really drunk and passed out.
Yeah, like had organised a bunch of friends and like respected peers to come around and watch a rough cut of the film. Stephen was one of them, and he phoned me like half an hour before the film was to go on, and he was like, "Do
you have any Bucky?"
Yeah. Well, I think he said, "Do you have any wine?" Which obviously, meant Bucky.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, funnily enough, I actually have a bottle in the cupboard from like a sketch that I'd filmed or something." And he was like, "Oh, I might go and get another one." And he was like, "Fuck." He wants to drink 2 bottles of Bucky. And he's like, "Yeah, I've been at the football. I've had like 3 or 4 pints or something." So he came. He was absolutely smashed. Yeah, and as Joma said, fell asleep and snored. We had to like put him to bed. Honey was in the bed already.
I was sitting next to him. I had to move because he just kept on like annoying me before he fell asleep as well. Just poking and prodding me and stuff, and whispering very loudly.
So yeah, put him to bed next to Honey, and then when we went and found him later on, even Honey had like moved up. She loves being on the bed. You can barely like move her off it. Yet when we went through, Stephen in his drunken abyss had managed to annoy Honey so much that she'd like leapt off and went and lying in the hall. So anyway, would you rather loads of people paid and hated, or got it for free and loved it?
I personally would always go for accolades. I want people to love my work.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also want to get paid for that work.
Yeah, I mean...
But I would say I would rather they streamed it illegally and loved it.
I think for this film, because it didn't cost that much, definitely the latter, because then it can give opportunities, like, if the work is... Wait, was it a number? Was it like a small amount?
It's like a small amount of people see it and love it.
Yeah. Depends who sees it, I guess. But no, I still think the latter...
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's more important to make good art, I think. I mean, my very noble thing to say. It's true. I prefer making good art than worrying about whether that art's going to pay.
Yeah. But then it's also like, well, I'd need the figures. Yeah. Like, how much am I making off of the people hating it? Because...
Give us figures, Stephen.
Yeah. Because if it's enough, there is a price. I have a price.
Yeah.
Because it means I can make more work, and then like I don't have to apply the same binary option to the next work. Like,
that's true.
If it was like £1 million for this,
yeah,
it's like, oh cool, I can make another like 10 films, and they can all be like good. Hopefully,
you can Mike the fuck out of it.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah.
Mike.
So yeah, if the price was right, I'd sell out for this one film. Mm-hmm. But if he's talking like 10 grand or something, then nah.
Can we explain that joke as well?
Oh yeah, anyone that's watching this that
is not from or lived in Glasgow.
Someone who's from Glasgow is called a Ouija. A Glaswegian, a Ouija. So a Ouija board and a Ouija, that's the joke.
That joke did not fly at Fright Fest in London.
I need to, we'll come back to that because I need to talk about this. So right now this is a fake wall. It is a cardboard replica of the other one, which it's just like regular cardboard, which I painted white and using the same paint that the wall was used on. Then drew all the graffiti again. Then that's Joma's arm.
Yep.
It's been placed in the doorway so that
that I can like stand behind it
Yeah.
and then burst through.
And then there's a hidden cut there when I stand up to then go back to the real wall. That was Joma closing the door again. There's another hidden cut here. Shoop. There's loads of hidden cuts in this scene.
This is probably my favourite scene.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just to watch. I think it's really fun. And actually, when I saw it at Fright Fest in London, even though I'd seen the film so many times, it actually made me jump at one of the jump scares because I guess I was tired.
Yeah. Another hidden cut here.
I wasn't expecting it. So, when it happened, I actually jumped and then I was really embarrassed and thought I looked really stupid.
Oh.
But
Well, we were
it's
sitting in the
okay.
back row, so...
No one was looking at me.
So there's another hidden cut here, tilt down to the floor.
That was it. That's what made me jump.
So there's a hidden cut in amongst all that, and it gives Joma time to move out of the way.
There's Honey's tennis ball down on the floor there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we used another like dog Easter egg. The snib's on there as well again, so I can open it with one hand. It's completely implausible.
Yeah.
More hidden cuts coming up. Ooh. That's still one take. Let's see, where is it? That was a hidden cut actually. Yeah, we jumped down a couple of floors there on that pan.
Now that bike was just there by chance.
That was just
it's
a
like
happy
this
accident. Hidden
great
cut there.
bike that had been there for ages. It's now gone, and I'm kind of sad. I wish like we'd known whose it was so that we could keep it.
Yeah,
because I love the way it looks.
And another hidden cut coming up. There we go. Now, I don't think there's one on this tilt up to Joma. I think this is all just the same take. Yeah, that's still all the same. And then there's another one coming up here. I hope you guys are in sync with this. Or else this is not going to make any sense.
Yeah.
And then Joma is now creeping out of that door behind me. This is still the same take. There's not a hidden cut in this pan here. And then there's like fucking loads there.
And then I actually pushed him down the stairs.
It's the easiest way, really.
Yeah.
So you were saying about
the Ouija board joke. Yeah, so in London it definitely didn't fly because no one got it. But when it was screened in Glasgow, it got a very big laugh. Yeah. Which was fun. I like that joke.
Yeah, we sneakily... I put some pyjamas on and we just walked into the hospital and took some photos. Was this you that was taking the photos? Yeah. Yeah. Just cutting about in a dressing gown.
It was a really weird day. I was very hungover that day as well, I think. It was just like only managing on Iron Brew.
Yeah. I tell you, if I did have more money for this film, I would put it into the website designs.
Yeah, I get you.
They're not great, but
yeah, I mean they do the job.
They do. Yeah, it's fine, but yeah,
like when you see films like Searching, where like all of that work has gone into like
oh my God.
The stories and the background on the inside. Oh man, it's amazing. That attention to detail is fucking amazing.
They had like teams of people, you know, like this is just like me sitting in Photoshop, like, oh my God, how many? I need to do 5.
But that's like what we'd aspire to, I guess.
Yeah.
It's that kind of quality.
Having people that
having teams of people.
Yeah.
Like an Andy Warhol workshop.
Workshop. Oh, this is great.
Yeah. I think another Easter egg is at some point if you go into one of the shots in the hallway of the flat and you're looking on the bookshelf, there'll be there's a card there and there's a picture of me and a picture of Josie on this card together. and it's in Graham's flat. So obviously then that begs the question, oh, is Alice part of it all?
Yeah.
Is she actually attacking them, or is she like stoking the flames? And the same with Gabrielle. Is she also like part? So it was quite fun because we didn't get rid of stuff like that, and so once you see those things, if you see those things, it adds another dimension of what's real, what's not, kind of questioning.
Now we're getting into the Return of the King bit when there's like 4 different endings. Also in that picture would be Bacola, right?
Yeah, but we don't see her on screen.
So Bacola being the interviewer. Good for him. He's such a dick.
Yeah, like one of my friends that watched this said that Alice is the true monster of the film.
I like how some people think you're the monster and some people think you're
like the hero.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of see her as the hero.
Really?
I think so. I mean, she's quite brutal, but I genuinely think that misinformation on the internet is
a big problem.
Incredibly dangerous. It's terrifying. It's really terrifying.
Problem with her though is that I feel like she's not above it herself.
Yeah,
which is why I hate that kind of hypocrisy.
Mm-hmm. I get that. Yeah. But I think her I think okay, so you can debate
so mean.
12 sales since 2016. Oh, Erin.
Shame.
Also, the email is hotmail.com. I was scared in case I don't know, using Hotmail would shoot me in the foot. But you're losing it, man. What were we saying? Oh yeah, so it depends whether you think Graham's like bullshitting or not, but the trying to eradicate fake news.
Yeah, I think I just can't help but find him like a bit of like a hapless sort of sad sack. I feel like I'm on his side when I watch it.
Yeah.
Because he seems like a sweet guy that just wants to do something nice or fun or interesting, and sort of taken advantage of along the way.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping that the film wouldn't have any villains. I think the way you're portrayed is somewhat villainous, but I think your motives are genuine and like relatable.
I think someone said that they felt like Erin was like the worst one.
Yeah, because she seems to be playing both sides potentially, but it depends how you interpret the events of the film.
And then it's like, also, why are we looking for a bad one?
Yeah, well, I mean, that sums up the internet as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like we love to.
There needs to be a villain, like vilifying people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're just all people. They're trying to do things.
Trying to make stuff.
Yeah.
And like Erin says, like she saw it as an art piece.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a valid way of looking at it.
Mm-hmm. It's because it's kind of like I think in her eyes it's kind of like the shed at Dulwich.
Yeah.
You know, like she's trying to highlight the bullshit.
Yeah.
Because as far as I'm concerned, she was always intending on it being exposed anyway.
Yeah.
And that is the art. That's the point. Is like look how easy it is to be duped.
Yeah.
This is your last bit.
Yeah. I was just admiring my eyebrows.
Nice.
That hair looks good too.
Yeah. I think you cut it.
No, I'm like especially. This. Big hag.
Hag? Which ones?
I really do love the antagonism between Alice and Steve. It's really fun.
Yeah.
And it was so fun to play against Paddy.
Yeah. I think, he's like a low-key Meninist, I think, as well.
Low-key what?
Meninist.
Meninist?
Yeah.
What's a Meninist?
I've forgotten, like a chauvinist.
Okay.
What's the word for that?
Misogynist?
Misogynist, yeah. Yeah, like, oh yeah, there's already a word for that. Yeah, I think he's like a low-key misogynist, like one of the ones that doesn't realise, like he thinks he's like a white knight sort of guy.
Yeah, okay.
But actually, like
a beta male.
Yeah.
God, I love her performance. She's great.
Yeah. This is so good. Because this has to feel like the last shot. Her performance is like carrying this as the last shot, and she does it twice, right? Yeah. She has to carry the last shot twice. Nice. Yeah, just the looks and all that, they're all great.
Yeah.
Oh wait, there's another ending. Did we do all the questions? I think we did.
Yeah, I don't think we had that many. Do we have any?
I mean, we didn't actually answer the flying one. Fly it or crawl, or drawings become real.
Well, you can take one and I'll take the other.
Nice.
Together, we're unstoppable.
Right, so let's go into the effects of this scene. There's a mistake here. You can actually see the body harness I'm wearing underneath my t-shirt. See that little black bit? That's actually blue, but I've graded it black to make it less noticeable, but it's a shiny blue. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm wearing a body harness. It's like under my t-shirt. Behind me, there's a pull-up bar in the doorway. And attached to that is a pulley.
Mm-hmm. I think you can see the rope actually there.
Where?
There. Is that it?
No.
Okay.
Oh, it's a shadow, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just shadow.
But yeah, and then round the corner is Joma again, because Joma is the head of VFX.
Dog's body.
So there's another hidden cut coming up. This is probably my favorite hidden cut because it's like I had to use like the morph cut. I'll need to like point out exactly again if we're not synced up, this won't help. So yeah, puts that on stand. Now Joma now is attaching me. Mm-hmm. Hidden cut is when I put my hands down and oh no, that was it there. When I shake my hips. Okay, and now I'm all hooked up and Joma is pulling on the pulley.
That was really hard. I actually I had to go right into the corner of the room and then sort of lean my whole body weight, and then I had to get my legs up onto the rope and like push down. So it's like a real body workout.
Yeah. And then when I fall,
strong,
there's another hidden cut where I drop once and then I just land on my feet. Or no, I do kind of as much of a fake fall as I can. And then Joma unhooks me. And then I do a secondary drop when I'm unhooked. And then I had to max that up in the edit and do some other VFX tweaks and stuff.
Nice. And then
one thing that I worry about is that do people notice the paper moving? I keep meaning to ask folk. Because like, yeah, if you watch the paper right before and you can hear Joma whispering in the background. But you see the paper move?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if people clock that.
Well, yeah.
But it was meant as the one last kind of like, is it real? Is it not?
And I think it was just you blowing it, right?
It was you? You blew it?
Oh, I blew it.
Yeah.
So there we go.
You blew it, Joma. You blew it.
And that is the commentary.
That's the commentary.
I hope we didn't come across as too obnoxious during that.
I hope we came across incredibly obnoxious.
Okay. One or the other.
Yeah.
Let's just split the difference.
Yeah. Obnoxious at times. Well, one of us can be horribly obnoxious and the other can be like really charming. Okay. It's like the Stephen question. We'll take one each.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'm probably obnoxious then.
Oh.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
You're
for
so
you.
Nice.
And I'm supportive.
You know, by you doing that, that automatically makes me the obnoxious one because I didn't volunteer.
my plan work.
Right, I don't think we need to hang about for all the
credits.
The credits. There's not really a whole lot to point out here.
Yeah. Just Graham and Graham and Graham.
Graham and Graham and Graham.
And Graham. Graham doing this and Graham doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck it. All right.
Yep.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you for sticking with
around
us. Yeah.
for the entirety of this.
That's it for another episode of Rogue Commentary, a Synchronicity production produced and mixed by Sam Ibrahim with music by Oli Oja. We'll be back with another exclusive audio commentary in 2 weeks' time, so please subscribe, rate us, and most importantly, tell your fellow film fans that Rogue Commentary is a thing. Follow us on Twitter for news about upcoming episodes, and if you have any suggestions for future contributors, email us at david@rogue-commentary.com. Bye!